Welcome to Sightline, to the program where we talk about events and with those who organize them. Well, today my guest's name is Barrie Evans. He is a managing director of Churchill's LLC and also a member of Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar. Hello.
Hi, nice to be here.
Thank you for accepting our request.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time. When did you first come to Mongolia and what do you do here?
I came to Mongolia in 1996, was my first visit, and that was at that time working for the European Union on a program called TASIS, Technical Assistance to the Commonwealth Independent States. These were all of the different states that had moved on from the Soviet era. And I came on that particular project as a specialist on agro-systems for small and medium enterprises in dairy, butchery, bakery, meat. So I worked with a lot of Mongolians on helping them establish small businesses and to gain, to give them, it was hoped, a understanding of how a business should work from an artisan side of making the product, but also of how to run a business and not lose money, but to make money and be able to pay your salary and your expenses.
How did you come to knowledge of business industry?
Well, as a youngster, I first went to the National Bakery School in London and served an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship is where you are tied to an employer for 5 years to learn everything about the business. And then you attend technical school to learn the technical side as well. So I became, after 7 years, a master baker, that I was able to make bread but also run a business. And that's how you become a master baker, in that you run your business, not just make the bread.
Okay, so let's then talk first of all about your first part of your work. So what is actually Churchill's LLC? What are you working on?
And in terms of working on, then Churchill's, we're involved in a food processing bakery where we supply wholesale. We don't supply into shops, we supply to other customers. So we supply to people at the airport, we supply down to caterers at OT, we supply to pubs, to clubs, to restaurants, to hotels. So all of our product goes to another user rather than to the housewife or the man working at home. So our product is, we refer to it as wholesale, where we deliver direct to another customer.
And when did you establish it?
And Churchill's first started as a restaurant bakery. We were listed in the Lonely Planet Guide in 1997, where we had at Orchin Pinari-Ordan, we had the first Churchill's restaurant with a small bakery attached to it. And at that time, we were doing meals throughout the day and into the evening, and that, after 3 or 4 years, was then moved as we started work for Borrow Gold. And we moved from Ulaanbaatar to Borrow, up in the area where the gold mine is, and we looked after the camp catering for 400 people every day for a couple of years.
What companies do you cooperate with?
Well, we work with numerous companies on purchasing. We buy from most probably 25, 30 different companies. We buy from Ontario with our flour, and then the list goes on and on and on. But Ontario would be our biggest supplier of raw material to us, flour. And then on the sales side, our biggest customer at the moment is the CU convenience store, where we supply hot dog rolls to convenience store CU.
All right, so now let's turn then to the second part of your work about the Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar. So when it was established?
Rotary was established globally in 1905. The first Rotary Club was formed in Chicago in 1905. And the founder at that time, I think, didn't see where it would go to even himself, that in 100 years later it would be almost in every country of the world. There are maybe only 3 countries at the moment where it is not still officially accepted. And we have over 1.2 million members, and there are 35,000 Rotary clubs. Here in Mongolia, there are now more than 20 clubs that have grown since Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar was formed in 1995. At that time, visionary people in Mongolia, Dr. Boschik, Jago Sahan, Chulung Gambold, these guys saw that Rotary was all over the world, and they said, that must come to Mongolia. Because it is such a different style of a service club. It is not a sports club, it is a service club where you as a member have to serve people in the local community.
So why club then status?
Well, club because each little club that is established, that's the easiest term to use. It's a club of members of Rotary. So we use the word club because it's a mixture of different people all inside in our case, Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar. And so there is Rotary Club of 35,000 times as it represents its city and communities all throughout the world.
All right. So you said that there are a lot of other clubs, Rotary clubs as well. And what is the main feature of your club?
The main feature of our club is that we have our club meetings to benefit from each other's friendship. That's our initial part of it. As a business or professional person, we input into our club from our profession. So if I talk my side, I will talk sometimes about bakery maybe, or food, and the engineer and other people, they will talk for that. So between all of us, we are now bringing forward all of the different sectors of the world, of the professions, so that you learn all the time. So normally people go to a club and don't keep learning. In Rotary, you keep learning because you keep meeting people, and you say, what do you do? And it's all about learning about people and benefiting from their friendship.
I heard there are so many things that you do in all areas, in all the spheres, and that's why I thought maybe the name might be called as association or something like unity of something, union of something, like very big, in a bigger way. That's why I asked about. So could you please name then those works that you did or that already have been done?
Yeah, we've done obviously a number of tiny projects, looking at one person who needed help. They were sick, they needed some education, they needed help of some sort. And then we go to the other end of our club where we try to get great value for the money that is donated to us. So we look at, here in Ulaanbaatar, we have done sanitation in schools. We have now put into more than 25 schools new toilets, new showers, new washrooms, and each of those schools we have gone to a Rotary Club somewhere else in the world and said, how do you fancy twinning with us here in Ulaanbaatar to assist at the local school in the development, the improvement, the raising of a standard? And most of those clubs say, yeah, wonderful. What do you want? And of course, invariably, we say money. And from that money of around $7,000–8,000 to do one school, we will then invest that money for the school through the local builder, the local plumber, to redo the school sanitation work.
Okay. There are many spheres, right? Education, like work that is directed to the people, to homeless people, for maybe to those who challenge it physically, for the sick people and so on.
Yeah.
Could you please name exactly like what has been done for health?
For health,
I heard something about hepatitis, right?
yeah, for health, we put in a monitoring system into hospital number 3 for heart conditions. We put an MRI scanner into the cancer hospital. We have brought immense amounts of medical equipment and medical parts and medications even. It's always difficult at the medication end because, of course, there is Mongolian law to be aware of. Whereas on equipment, to bring in from abroad, equipment that maybe after 3 or 4 years in a hospital somewhere abroad has been said they will replace it, they will not use it, and we're able to bring that in here at almost no cost. So the MRI scanner on a commercial cost was $1 million. We brought it to Mongolia most probably at a cost of $20,000. Cargo, shipping, tax.
It must be very expensive. And how do you find finances?
Well, finances for us is 2 parts. One, local financing, where we talk to companies.
Right.
We hold events where people donate money. Right. We will have auctions, we'll have tombolas, all things like that. And then secondly, where we go to Rotary clubs abroad. Now, that is the area that is for us so useful, because if we as Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar are able to get a foreign club to back a project for us, and let's say it was $1,000 value, that club, our club, could go to Rotary International, our head body, and say we're doing a project. And Rotary most times will say, good, we'll match your money. And it's called a matching grant. So 1,000 can become 2,000. 10,000 can become 20,000. So that's how we are able to do so many projects in Mongolia, because we seek clubs to work with us, and then we go to Rotary International and say, would you please assist us more?
And does your company, Churchill's LLC, donate in some ways to Rotary
from time
Club?
to time, if there's a charity event, I will donate the buns, the rolls, the something, and somebody else will donate something. So all of us as business people, we will give of our time or of goods, or even the use of our facilities. So if somebody needs to transport something, we would say, who can do the transport? And somebody would say, yeah, I've got machiners. And so everybody is helping contribute some way.
And what should do general citizen to be a member of your club?
Well, membership of Rotary is open to most people. There are age requirements. You have to be over 18 for a start. And there are going to be parameters which the Rotary Club would say to you that, look, to be a Rotarian, you've got to pay for your meal each week, you've got to attend a club meeting each week, you've got to do extra committee work, and there will be annual subscriptions. If that person can meet that criteria, then they could be invited to join. They could apply for membership. But there are some basic rules that are not too onerous. And Rotary continues to look for new, vigorous members, people who will get involved, people who say, yeah, I want to help. I will do something.
With willingness.
Yeah.
So where is the main office situated?
Main office still is in America, and we have what is there a full-time office. Remember, looking after 1.2 million members and 35,000 clubs is an onerous task. We as Rotary have in the last, I think, 10 years got a hold of the international part of it, and are now on board with Facebook, with Instagram, with all of the media requirements, and even through to our membership. So all of our membership is going electronic, and the organization has really ascended from sort of old bookkeeping and things like that. So now we have in America, I suppose there would be 200 or 300 people working in that office full time.
Oh, really?
There is a selected board of governors that is selected globally by Rotary clubs, and they serve 1, 2, 3 years. Executive people, they work as employees.
Does it take too much time for you to work for Rotary Club in Ulaanbaatar?
No, I think it's a case that you are advised, you are always told, you must put Rotary in the list, but you must also remember you have a job to do, you have a family to look after, and things like that. So you have to divide it accordingly. And of course, some of our activities are fun for us. So we have sports days, we have nights out at restaurants and things like that. So there is our work helping others, but we also keep a little portion of our time to enjoy ourselves as well.
Sure.
And meet people.
Okay, I noticed that symbol on your jacket.
Yeah.
What is it?
This is the Rotary pin, or the Rotary rondelle is the official
Something
word.
connected with
But
Rotary.
it's a little pin.
Sorry.
And it denotes the wheels of Rotary, which the wheel is not dissimilar to the top of a gear wheel in its appearance, but in Rotary terms it was formed to show progress. The wheel is moving, and it now is a little pin that all Rotarians are asked to wear in their public dress as they move about, and so that if I, with this pin now, go anywhere in the world, somebody will say, "You're a Rotarian, where are you from?" And they can tell just at the sight of that little pin. And it's happened to me. I was going on a trip to the Orient Express one time, and I was in Waterloo Station in London, and the guy said, "Hi, you're a Rotarian." So it happens all over, and we will now see many Rotarians wearing T-shirts, wearing jackets, wearing hats, all with the Rotary sign on it.
Right. Small things makes
But
a lot of things clearer.
People in Mongolia also know that sign. That's a sign that we feel has shown that Rotary has done good work.
Oh, right.
Because people know that sign as Rotary.
Sign
just
of
by
quality.
seeing. Yeah.
Means like that. Okay, my last question gonna be about the future of a Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar in general. How do you see the development of this?
Yeah, it's Rotary clubs have to work at their continuation. So that means that we continue to seek new members, because people like me will ultimately have to retire and get out of the way, and the younger people must be brought in. So Rotary has a formation system of 4 years in our top positions, but all the time we bring members in, they will serve on committees, they will ultimately become a committee leader of that type of committee, and then gradually we would look to them to go for the position of president, treasurer, secretary, and other positions in the club. And it is still seen as development of people. When we join Rotary Club, we continue to learn about ourselves, our profession, but everybody else's profession. And we learn also the difficulties of life for many other people, and how we should be trying to do something to help them.
All right. Thank you very much for your time and for accepting our request and for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we had a talk about Rotary Club, and today my guest's name was Barrie Evans, who is a Managing Director of Churchill's LLC and also a member of Rotary Club of Ulaanbaatar. If you have something to update and tell us, please contact us to MNB World. On your bottom of your screen, you can find our contacts. Have a nice evening and goodbye.